They have to be ready to go to the front line with just 48 hours notice, and that means a gruelling regime of endless exercises to stay at the sharp end of combat. 2 Royal Anglian are the Theatre Reserve Battalion in Cyprus, and as Carla Prater reports, after 9 months of waiting, it's not easy being on a constant state of alert.
Dawn over the fields of Paramali, and the poachers are moving out for the start of their 36-hour exercise. For B Company, this is their Operational Readiness Assessment, monitored by the headquarters of British Forces Cyprus. It's one of the checks in place for the Theatre Reserve Battalion, making sure they're ready to deploy. They've been on standby since October, and despite all hopes, they've not been sent on tour, but they still need to be ready to go at 48 hours notice.
The guys are in good spirits. We've just come back from 3 weeks in Jordan with some excellent training there. We haven't deployed. The guys are a little bit frustrated by that, but they are ready to go, and they're trained to go. So looking forward to it if it happens.
These soldiers have already spent 2 days on the ranges and on patrol in Akrotiri, but this is the real test. And by the time the sun has risen, they're already under contact. Holding Shuras, locating IEDs and driving insurgents out of the valley. This is a busy exercise, and after 24 hours, there's been little rest. You haven't had much sleep, I fear?
No, not at all. I've had it over the last 3 nights that we've been out down on the ground. I've had about 4 hours, 5 hours maximum.
The worst bit to be the sleep deck, probably. Yeah, that was probably the worst bit. But there was a few long advanced contacts as well. What went on pretty all day long, to be honest with you.
0 Alpha, 2 Alpha, can we push the AH up there as well?
While the battalion hasn't deployed to Afghanistan, they've all completed RSOI packages in theatre, and a small team is currently working in Kabul in a mentoring role with the ANP. Staying on readiness alert for a year is testing morale, and in times it's been frustrating for everyone.
We're as ready as we ever were, and keen to deploy in whichever way that the government decides to use us. I wouldn't lie and say it hasn't been a disappointment for the guys not to have had the opportunity to deploy, but we've managed to balance the year with periods of obviously training like this, and if you're going to be held at readiness and not deploy, then Cyprus is as good a place to do that as anywhere.
The decision on whether to deploy the TRB is made by the government. It's out of their hands, and for the rest of the summer they'll be training and waiting. This exercise proving they're ready for the tour if they get the chance. Carla Prater, Forces News, Paramali.